Stop wasting money on tubs of powder that promise strength but leave you chasing results. Right inside your kitchen sits a food so powerful it can keep your muscles from melting away, even as age or inactivity tries to steal them. Most people overlook it, dismiss it as ordinary, and yet researchers are finding that this natural source of nutrition may protect muscle mass more effectively than the supplements advertised everywhere. That is the hidden story you are about to discover. Muscle loss isn't just a problem for bodybuilders or athletes. It creeps up quietly, starting in your 30s, accelerating as the years pass, weakening bones, slowing recovery, and draining energy. This is called sarcopenia, and it doesn't just reduce strength, it raises the risk of falls, fractures, even chronic disease. Billions of dollars flow every year into protein powders, shakes, and miracle formulas that claim to fight it. But here's the twist. Powders often strip away more than they deliver. They remove the natural cofactors, those subtle vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that whole foods contain. Without them, your body cannot unlock the full benefit of protein, and that's where the story turns. There is a natural food, tested and confirmed by studies, that doesn't only provide protein, it offers omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and key amino acids like leucine, the spark that ignites muscle growth. Unlike powder, it works in harmony with your biology, reducing inflammation, supporting recovery, and fueling the very process of protein synthesis. In fact, clinical trials show that when older adults eat it consistently, their strength improves, their balance stabilizes, and their muscle loss slows dramatically. This is not a rare superfood from a distant land. It's something most of us can find at a local market, yet its true power remains buried under advertising for shiny tubs of supplement powder. Throughout this video, you'll learn why this food matters more than processed shakes, how it interacts with your body on a cellular level, and the surprising history of how it became central in certain cultures that maintained vitality long into old age. We'll explore the science, the secrets, and the step-by-step ways you can use it daily to build back strength, preserve energy, and stay independent no matter your age. Stay with me until the end, because that's where I'll reveal not only the food itself, but also the exact method researchers recommend for making it part of your life. Miss that, and you miss the key detail that transforms theory into real results. This is Jordan Insights, a place where knowledge meets daily life. If you want to uncover truths that mainstream health culture often hides, you're in the right space. Subscribe now, join our growing community, and let's begin this journey into strength, science, and the wisdom of living better. Strange as it sounds, strength does not come from protein alone. The body is not a machine that can be fed a single substance and expected to thrive. It is a delicate harmony, a dance of nutrients that must play together in rhythm. When we talk about stopping muscle loss, the true secret lies not in powder, but in the natural foods that carry both protein and the silent companions that make it effective. Omega-3 fats, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. Consider this. Two people eat the same amount of protein. One relies on processed shakes, the other on a simple whole food rich in both amino acids and essential fats. The second person doesn't just feed their muscles, they calm inflammation, protect cells from oxidative stress, and switch on the very pathways that build strength. It is this union, the food plus its nutrient partners, that makes all the difference. Researchers have long puzzled over why traditional diets, built around fish, beans, seeds, or leafy plants, seem to preserve strength into old age. The answer lies in synergy. Omega-3 fatty acids, for example, found in fish or seeds, enhance muscle protein synthesis, while antioxidants from plants reduce the cellular damage that weakens fibers. Vitamins like D and minerals like magnesium steady this whole orchestra, making the protein work as it should. What is often missed in glossy advertisements is that powders remove context. They strip away the quiet helpers that nature intended to be part of the package. A salmon fillet, a handful of lentils, even an egg carries within it not just protein but the co-stars of resilience. And so the body nourished in full responds differently. Faster recovery, greater strength, less wasting away with age. Time has a way of carving its mark into muscle before we even notice. After the age of 40, strength begins to fade quietly, a few grams of muscle lost each year. By the time 60 or 70 arrives, this gentle decline becomes a steep slope, often leaving people weaker, less steady, and more vulnerable to falls. Yet this fading of the body is not inevitable. Certain foods, chosen with care, can slow the tide. Older adults face a unique challenge. Their muscles respond less efficiently to protein, a resistance born from age itself. A scoop of powder may look like an easy solution, but it rarely works alone. What the body craves in these years is not only protein but foods rich in leucine, vitamin D, and omega-3 fats. These elements are the sparks that awaken dormant pathways, signaling the body to build rather than waste away. Studies have shown that when seniors add fish, eggs, or soy-rich foods to their meals, combined with a touch of physical movement, their strength returns more noticeably than when they depend on supplements alone. The muscles are fed, but so too are the bones, the immune system, and even the mind. And with that nourishment comes steadier balance, greater independence, and the quiet confidence to move without fear. For those over 50, digestion can also change. Heavy meals feel burdensome, appetite declines, and chewing itself may become difficult. That is why easy-to-digest foods, soups with lentils, soft fish, or simple egg dishes, become not just practical, but essential. They offer the right fuel without exhausting the body. In this way, the aging years need not be a surrender to weakness. Instead, they can be guided, shaped, and strengthened through simple choices on the plate. Strength does not belong only to those who eat meat. The earth itself provides the tools to build and preserve muscle, though they are often overlooked in a culture obsessed with powders and animal protein. Plants, in their quiet resilience, hold within them amino acids, minerals, and subtle compounds that can keep the body strong well into age. The challenge with plant-based diets is not a lack of protein, but the myth that plants cannot provide what muscles need. In truth, soybeans, lentils, chickpeas, and quinoa contain the essential amino acids that spark muscle growth, especially leucine, the very trigger of protein synthesis. When paired wisely, beans with rice, hummus with whole grains, the body receives a complete set of building blocks as effective as any supplement. But plants offer more than protein. They carry antioxidants that shield muscle fibers from the slow damage of free radicals, and they bring minerals like magnesium and potassium that steady muscle contractions. Leafy greens raise nitric oxide, improving blood flow to tissues, while seeds like flax and chia contribute omega-3 fats that protect against inflammation and wasting. These are gifts powders cannot replicate. Cultures that thrive on plant-based traditions, from Asia to the Mediterranean, show us that vitality does not demand steak or shakes. Their strength comes from a tapestry of legumes, seeds, grains, and vegetables, woven together over centuries. The body, when nourished by this variety, does not simply resist muscle loss. It flourishes with energy, endurance, and clarity. So the plant-based path is not one of compromise but of balance. It demands attention to diversity, to pairing foods thoughtfully, and to respecting the wisdom nature has already placed within reach. In this harmony, muscle is not only preserved but deeply sustained. So many voices shout the same promise: without powders, your muscles will vanish. Yet behind this chorus lies a web of myths, stitched together by marketing more than truth. The first myth is that supplements are the only reliable path to strength. But history shows otherwise. Generations before the age of shiny tubs and flavored shakes lived with strong bodies, fueled not by laboratory blends, but by whole foods, rich in protein and the subtle nutrients that make it work. The second myth whispers that plant proteins are weak, incomplete, unworthy of serious attention. But science tells a different story. Soy, lentils, beans, and grains, when brought together, provide the very amino acids that ignite muscle repair. Far from being fragile, these foods carry antioxidants and minerals that powders strip away, giving them an advantage in the long run. Then comes the myth of quantity, that more protein alone is the answer. People scoop endlessly into their shakers, believing that excess equals progress. Yet the body has limits. Without the presence of vitamins like D, minerals like magnesium, and fats like omega-3, much of that protein drifts unused. Whole foods, with their natural balance, provide a symphony instead of a single note. And finally, there is the idea that quick fixes exist, that a shake after the gym is a shortcut to lasting strength. But muscles respond to rhythm, to consistent nourishment, rest and effort over time. No powder can rewrite that law. When these myths dissolve, what remains is simpler and truer. Food as it is found in nature, eaten with variety and care, is enough to protect the body from decline. Strength does not come from packaging. It comes from understanding. Muscles are not preserved by food alone, nor by exercise in isolation. They are shaped in the meeting place of both, a quiet agreement between what we eat and how we live. One without the other leaves the circle incomplete. You can eat the most nourishing meal, but if the body lies still, the signal to grow is never sent. And you can train with discipline, but without the right nutrients, the fibers remain hungry, unable to repair or strengthen. The true package begins with food that carries not just protein, but the companions that awaken its power: omega-3 fats, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. A serving of fish, beans, or eggs can do more than build tissue. It reduces inflammation, steadies energy, and keeps the balance between breakdown and repair. Yet food alone is not enough. Movement is the language muscles understand. Even light resistance training, simple walking, or bodyweight exercises send the message. These fibers are needed, do not let them waste. Rest then plays its part. Sleep is the time when growth unfolds quietly, when the nutrients from meals are woven into new tissue. Without rest, even the finest diet and exercise lose their effect. Hydration, too, holds a subtle role. Every contraction, every signal between nerve and fiber depends on it. Stress, left unchecked, eats away at this harmony, flooding the body with hormones that weaken muscle and drain resilience. When food, movement, rest, and balance align, the results are not merely physical. Strength carries over into mood, clarity of thought, and the calm sense that the body is working as it should. This is not a quick fix, but a way of living, where nourishment and action reinforce each other, forming a cycle of renewal. Strength does not have to come with a heavy price tag. The illusion that health requires expensive powders and supplements is a story told by those who profit from it. In truth, some of the most effective foods for preserving muscle are among the simplest and cheapest, waiting quietly in markets and kitchens across the world. Take eggs, for example, affordable, versatile, and rich in complete protein along with vitamins B12 and D, both essential for muscle health. A dozen costs less than a single serving of protein powder, yet it carries the power to nourish not just muscles but nerves and blood as well. Lentils and beans, humble staples found in nearly every culture, deliver protein and fiber at a fraction of the cost of shakes. Paired with rice or bread, they become a complete source of amino acids that the body can use to repair and build. Even canned fish, often overlooked, holds treasures. Omega-3 fatty acids to reduce inflammation and high-quality protein to slow muscle loss. A simple can, bought cheaply, can rival the nutrient profile of meals many times more expensive. And then there are seeds: chia, flax, sunflower. Tiny in size, modest in price, yet dense with minerals, fats, and protein. Sprinkled on bread, stirred into porridge, or blended into soups, they elevate ordinary meals into powerful sources of nourishment. The truth is that muscle preservation is less about luxury and more about consistency. With a little planning, ordinary kitchens can provide everything the body needs. Strength, endurance, and vitality are not sold in flashy containers. They are hidden in plain sight in foods that have been sustaining human beings for centuries. The path to resilience does not demand wealth, only wisdom in choosing what is already at hand. When we look closely, No single food holds all the answers. Strength is preserved through harmony, where protein-rich choices like eggs, beans, or fish meet the silent partners of health: omega-3 fats, antioxidants, and vital minerals. Each plays its role, but together they form a shield against muscle loss, more powerful than powders or isolated nutrients could ever be. By combining these foods in daily meals, you give your body not only the fuel to build, but also the tools to protect and renew. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and share it with someone who could benefit. And don't forget to subscribe to Jordan Insights for more science-based wisdom on health, strength, and living well.